Nelson Mandela was the first black president of South Africa. He had dedicated his life to fighting racism. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918 in Wezo, South Africa. However, his birth name was Rolihlahla Mandela in the Xhosa language. Nelson was a member of Thembu royalty, and his father was the chief of the city Wezo. At the age of 12, 1930, his father died. Then he was adopted by Jongintaba at the Great Place in Makizweni. He attended his first primary school where his teacher, Miss Dingain, gave him the name Nelson due to the custom at British educational system there. Until the age of 16, Mandela started to understand more about how horrible racism affects black people. Nelson Mandela began his studies for a Bachelor of Arts degree at the University of Fort Hare in 1939, but did not complete the degree there as he was expelled for joining in a student protest. He completed his BA through the University of South Africa, then went back to graduate at Fort Hare in 1943. Around that time, his godfather said he'd announced an arranged marriage for him and his cousin. Mandela didn't want that, so he ran away to Johannesburg. He had several jobs there, and meanwhile he began studying law at the University of Witwatersrand.
In 1943, Nelson Mandela joined the African National Congress, or ANC. ANC is an organization run by Africans in search of freedom, equal rights, and respect for black citizens. With his friends, Mandela helped make the ANC a bigger, more active organization, reaching and involving millions of Africans all over the country. In 1944, he and his friends started the ANC Youth League. In 1948, a new South African government introduced apartheid to totally separate the different races in South Africa. On 31st May 1961, the whites voted to make South Africa a republic. Mandela organized a national strike in protest, so the government introduced even harsher new laws. Mandela knew this meant the ANC had to give up its way of peaceful protest, and together with other ANC leaders, launched a campaign of sabotage. In 1962, Mandela was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment on Robben Island, then to another prison in Cape Town for 27 years. The government was mistaken that their action would seize the Black African movement, but they seemed to be stronger and even more powerful. Finally, on 11 February 1990, Mandela was released from the cell at the age of 71. In 1993, Nelson Mandela, along with the President of South Africa, Frederick Willem de Klerk, were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their acts to end apartheid and making South Africa a democratic country. On 9 May 1994, Mandela was elected as the first black president in South Africa's history. At the age of 80, he retired from his job in 1999. In 2013, Mandela was very ill and frail for some months. He died peacefully at his home on December 5 at the age of 95. He has been acclaimed as a world hero and Africa's greatest son. He was mourned by people all around the world.